Hey, welcome to Brisbane Small Business TV, or BSB TV, as we do like to call it. It's all good fun and games here. And for people who are watching in the future, they won't know that we're running half an hour late. That's kind of good. Hey, James.
100%. Yeah, no, we're not late. We're right on time, right where we need to be, Kevin.
We are exactly where we need to be right in this minute. Today I've got with me James Cowlishaw, and it's kind of a meet the team. James is actually joining the team of Brisbane Small Business, which I'm really excited about because being one person and trying to cover and help 10,000 small businesses is a little bit confusing at best. And from time to time drives me stir crazy. So you're here to help me with all that, hey?
I am. I'm here to help you and the Brisbane Small Business Group as well.
Absolutely, the entire group that we do have, which is truly fantastic. One of the core things, people get really confused when they start talking about automation and business process improvement and all that sort of stuff. And, hey, why even bother? That's so often I'll be speaking to clients from a coaching perspective, and they will come up with, but Kevin, like I don't have the money or the time to do that.
Yeah, it's a common thing even I hear when I talk to clients about, hey, I just don't have time to do this, and then I ask them why they don't have time. And then they're like, I'm spending so long doing this. I'm spending so long processing all these interactions. I'm filling out all these forms. And then it's like, well, let's remove that and give you back your time.
Absolutely. And it really is. It's one of those things that we lose the forest for the trees. It's one of those situations where we get so busy chasing our tail, that we just are busy being busy.
Yep, it's like a mouse in a wheel. Once you start running, you just keep running. You don't realize that you need to stop and have a break, think about why you're doing it, and then you can get back to going again.
Yeah, as what's his face, the actor, Prime Minister, not Prime Minister, President of the United States. What was his name? Old dude, used to do westerns, bad westerns.
No. All I know is Clint Eastwood. You lost me there, Kevin.
No, he was only the mayor of Carmel or Monterey, just south of San Francisco. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Ronald Reagan, he said, it's so hard to remember why you entered the swamp when you're up to your armpits in alligators. And that's what it's like when your processes aren't helping you deliver business. So often I'll be talking to clients, and so often I accidentally get caught up in this myself, where I'll be really, really busy, but not actually producing an income.
Yep.
And it doesn't diminish what I'm doing, and what I'm doing feels like it's important. And thanks, Graham Pilling, for helping us out with that. It really is. We need to be focused on the production of what actually helps our clients.
Yes, that's exactly right. And finding what activity is adding value to your business. There is definitely business activity that we just have to do. But understanding what that is, whether you're the best person to be doing that activity, whether you can outsource it or in some cases automate that activity so it's done for you. So you can really focus on what you're really good at, that real space where you excel at delivering and executing.
Absolutely. And even sometimes just stop doing that because it's really not adding value for clients. It's really not helping you and all that sort of stuff. So having a third party look at that. The other part that makes this even more important today than ever before is, look, we seem to be absolutely inundated with the noise that's all around us, and there's more apps that do absolutely everything, and there's different systems. And there's only about 3,465 different CRM packages that we could be using that have different plugins and stuff. And it's
different
also
subscriptions,
confusing.
different feature levels. Infinitely confusing. The amount of people that I've said, okay, well, what have you subscribed to? And there's, they rattle off 7 or 8 different apps or widgets or add-ons. And then you're like, okay, how many do you use? Or use to its full extent. There's just so many out there, and there's a new one every day.
I reckon there's more than one new one every day, but let's not talk about that. So how did you get into helping people with this stuff?
Great question. I used to work for the bank, one of the big banks. Worked there for 13 years, got to understand how a big business operates, how it engages with its customers, how it delivers products, how it creates new processes and systems. What really worked in the big end of town, and then what I really loved was helping the small end of town, the small businesses. And where I got passionate in my business was helping them execute on big business process mentality so that they can deliver and be efficient. And I just loved helping small businesses.
And I love that, because my mantra that I scream from the rooftops is consistently, when I did the analysis from the stuff from the Australian Bureau of Statistics. It's a really exciting Saturday night, let me tell you. I did not do it on a Saturday night. But when I was looking at the different comparisons between what small, medium and large business contribute to the economy and how they employ and all that sort of stuff, I actually came up through a little bit of probably oversimplified maths, that for every person hour in small business compared to big business, a small business person will generate $1 for every dollar that's generated. In big business, $1.93 is generated.
Yep.
Now that's a shocking statistic from so many different levels. One, how could we just be more efficient and do it? But two, imagine if you took out half the revenue of any big business in the world. They're not making any money. And this explains why small business quite often are struggling. But imagine if instead of complaining about struggling and that sort of stuff, we just improved and started producing it. Hey, I'd be happy with $1.85.
100%, $1.75.
Be even better if we could outdo them, but let's not worry about that yet. If we could match what they're doing at $1.93 for the hour instead of the dollar, then all of a sudden we're having an awesome life. As you put it earlier, we're kind of bringing back some time and sanity into our world.
Yeah, I haven't yet met a small business owner that hasn't gone through that grind. We've all done it. We've all ground. We've all worked really hard. We do it because we love it. And what I want to give back is that time, that sanity, and that freedom to get back to really doing what you're really good at. But have the freedom to do spend time with your family, your kids, or go on holiday.
Well, I want to help people actually focus on the lifestyle component here. So, and focus on profitability so that they can bring back the lifestyle. Now, and if that means that you want to be a squillionaire and take over the world, awesome. Just keep smashing it out there, but do it producing the same revenue per person as a big business or even better, rather than trying to having the wrong people and not having the right processes in place to be able to do that.
Yeah, like you might have the potential to go there, and the only thing holding you back is a nice, clean, documented process that's easy to follow, and that flows throughout, has a nice little workflow throughout your business. It's one of the things that, there's bottlenecks that get created, and it really sort of strangleholds small businesses from growing. And when we help businesses move past that, whether it be removing redundant activity or streamlining data flows, making things talk to each other, or even just having clear documented processes so it's easy to follow when staff move on and you employ new staff, businesses are able to breathe and operate and run without the pressures of their cash flow draining them.
Absolutely, which would be really cool. Now you've got a process that you follow with this, and chatting with you before the show today, we broke it down in 5 things because you're about to help me, and I want to know what's in my future. So I thought, hey, here's a great way of getting a little bit of free advice. At the same time, a little bit of a look into the future of what we're going to go through. And so the first stage of the process that you normally take your clients through is what?
We just conduct an audit. We have a deep dive into the business and see what's working, what's not working. We listen to your staff and your customers and yourselves, listen to your frustrations. And then we look at where there's areas of opportunity that can either be improved or automated, or even removed if it's an activity you just don't need to do.
Fantastic. I'll just lie down on the couch and I'll give you all of those one day. After you've done your audit,
it's sometimes like that. Yeah, whether it be employees or owners just venting their frustration. I'm like, how is it really? Oh, I just wanted to vent.
Nobody else would listen. I'm glad you're here.
Yeah.
Absolutely true. So exploring what is there, and you know, hey, a little bit of Sherlock Holmes would be involved in exploring what's not there at the same time. I do imagine.
Yes. Yep.
You know, which is fantastic. So once you've done that exploration, you'd come up with a gap analysis of, you know, hey, what is working and what's there and what should be there. You know, and understanding that, yeah.
Yeah, that's it. What the opportunity is as well. You know, what's really driving? Is it more time and freedom, or is it actually growth? Like, what do you need to bring on those extra 10 clients?
Fantastic. So with that, you'd actually then, what do you do with that information?
So then we take that back and we then redesign. Sometimes we're redesigning, sometimes we're tweaking. So we design a workflow and process that you know, that is efficient and lean, and then we highlight areas which can be automated on top of that.
Fantastic. Now, sometimes that's going to be a fairly simple process for you. Other times you might be working with BSB and you're going to have to then put that into a schedule of
yeah, and sometimes it might be just a small part of the business. You know, it might be one function. Sometimes it's the whole business, end to end. It really sort of depends on the most frustrating point in our small business customers' lives.
That's excellent. I won't tell the joke that I was about to there. So once we've got that, we'd need to start out and agree an implementation process. Yeah, what's most important? So what bottlenecks can we unlock first to let that?
Yeah, and then it's about setting up that roadmap. Yeah, so designing that roadmap around, okay, well, what are we going to focus on first? What's the delivery time frame? How important is it to you? It might be something that, you know, it happens every now and then. It will fix it down the track, or it might be something that, no, my system's getting decommissioned. We need to fix this now, or it's, you know, it's costing me through the roof to constantly have to fix this. How do we make it work from the start?
Absolutely. I had a call from the whoever department and they wanted me to fix this in a heartbeat. And so, hey, let's get onto that one. Alternatively, then once we've done that, so once we're starting to do that improvement, how does it, I'm assuming that it doesn't always work perfect very first time.
No, so then obviously we start, so we'll pick and choose, you know, we'll pick a couple of systems. Sometimes it's working within the system you've got, or it's identifying there's another out there that could do more than what you're currently doing. And then we start the test and learn and customer feedback. So one of the things I'm big passionate about is what's the experience for your customers? You know, are they engaging in the process? And if they are engaging in the process, then we know we're on the right track as well. And obviously your team, making sure that if you've got a team, they're coming along the journey too. And that's probably the hardest part for everyone, is going through those steps, learning a new system or learning a new process, because everyone's got that element of change resistance in them.
Of course we do. Because, hey, if we thought that there was a better way, we would have already been doing that. And if we're not, then we're kind of entrenched a little bit into the way that we work quite often. I don't know, maybe I'm speaking on behalf of someone else here, but or maybe not. So as we're going through this, I would imagine that you're not just going, okay, I've developed the system, my job here is done.
No, I mean, in some cases, some of the easy jobs, like they're small tweaks and small improvements that we just need to fix, and away it goes. But often what we'll find is that there's iterative improvements that we can make. There's stuff that we can deliver now, but the long-term goal and objective is to achieve, you know, a big growth, a desired outcome, or an exceptional customer experience, and that's going to take stages of improvement. But I like the motto of, like, let's work in that agile methodology. Let's deliver something. Let's get a minimum product out there if you haven't already got a minimum product, and let's execute and then make improvements as we go.
Fantastic. And I do imagine that sometimes you are fixing, the bottleneck at the top of the river, and then we just get the next one a little bit further down that we didn't even realize was a problem.
The next guy in the queue goes, whoa, oh, I haven't had this much volume. Let's slow down a bit. Yeah, 100%.
Hey, what do I do with all these paying clients?
Well, awesome. too many orders. Back up. Yeah.
Great problems to have. Really first world problems. So fantastic. And of course, listening to customers, listening to feedback, and making sure that you're getting appropriate information to make sure that people are doing that along the way, which is the 5th step. So, going back over that, the 5 steps were exploring the current situation and identifying the gaps, designing the process, agreeing a implementation plan, and then as you're implementing, test and measure to keep refining those processes, making sure that the people who need to be happy at the end of the day, which is the customers and the team, are absolutely seeing that this is working for the benefit of the outcomes that you're trying to deliver, which is fantastic. James, we actually got through that in 16 minutes. That's amazing.
That's efficient. Let's get people back their time.
And what a simple way of wrapping that up. So that's what James does. He turns my half-hour conversations into 15-minute conversations, which is truly fantastic. I need to be doing that more often. Really, I'm in awe of people who can take that view and help identify those efficiencies and creating a process that is just as or even more effective than it was whilst creating efficiencies within it. I want to thank you for joining the BSB team and helping me do that. So everybody else out there, if BSB isn't working, it's James, just James Cowlishaw.
But fortunately, Kevin, most of the time it is working, and that's the best customer response you can get. Those really happy customers that just keep buying and engaging.
Absolutely. Thanks very much for your time today, James. I really appreciate it. Now, look, we did avoid talking about COVID, but there is the adaptation grant coming out in a couple of days. Do you have a way that you can help people with that?
Sure. Yeah, we definitely do. The COVID grants is all about digital strategy and guides. So, getting your audit done, getting your plan in place so you know where you can go, where you should be focusing your time and effort. We definitely have a package out there and can answer any questions that people have, or get them a really quick quote if they need one for the grant.
Fantastic. So that's for the adaptation grant. I'm going to talk to you about what we're going to do with the Brisbane Small Business Grants for those that don't qualify for the adaptation grant on another day. But if you're interested in having a deeper chat with James, don't hesitate to put a comment below in relation to that. James is even one day going to get a landing page so that people can reach out and give him more detailed questions. Thanks very much for your time today, James.
No worries. Have a good day, everyone. See you, Kevin.
Bye.